Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Frankly FM84 here. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Bello Calcio. We are coming out in Japan in the J-League and we are about to kick off our fourth season in charge of Shonan Bellmare. If you were with us yesterday, you would have seen the Season 3 review where we proudly showed off our J-League for the third season in a row. We also did the double-double by winning back-to-back Champions Leagues. And as you can see by the game above my head, we have now moved on into the start of Season 4, and today we are going to be showing you everything that is in the build-up to the fourth season. So let's start off by having a little look at some transfers. If we head into the transfers tab and we show you the players that have come into the club, you can see at the end of 2024, we kind of went spend happy. We had quite a bit of money available to us. And from basically the end of the season, we started signing players from the get-go. So some regens, we had some players that were also on youth deals that left the club and then were brought back. The likes of Yushi Kato that you just saw there. Also, Kojiro Hayano is a player who's brought back for the under-18s, two 16-year-olds. And the first major signing that we signed was Maya Yoshida. He has come to us on a free transfer. He is 36 years old. I've brought him in really as a bit of a steady Eddie influence at the back. His stats for a 36-year-old are going to be good enough to play at least one season in the J-League. You can see here he has announced that he will be retiring at the end of the season. So we're going to look to use him for one season only. We then signed some promising Thailand players who were based in Thailand. They are coming in. Some are 18 years old or under, and basically we have got Surasit Onnom with one of the coolest names that I think I've ever heard for a regen in Football Manager. We've got Warawut Akon 3. He is another 18-year-old, plays as an attacking midfielder right. We have got Pichoi Butti Wangsupeng. He is a defender right, so wing back with 13 pace, 15 tackling, 18 years old. He's going to be a decent enough player. We then started to splash some of the cash that we have been accumulating. We went out and signed Japanese international Shinosuke Hatanaka. Shinosuke Hatanaka, I'm going to go with. Japanese international, 29 years old. We spent £3 million on him. So him and Yoshida giving us plenty of experience at the back, with Aranda being there too. We signed Rito Yamamoto. He is a 23-year-old central midfielder. He has good passing, good work rate, good vision. I think he's going to be one that we can build around in the future. We paid £600,000 for him. He came via a scouting report. We've then had a few issues for registration around goalkeepers, so we have brought a few of those in. Rio Ida, he is a regen, 18 years old. He has the good base stats for a goalkeeper that we're going to look to develop. We brought him in from Giravan's Kita Koyushu for £190,000. Yasir Rahimi is a player who was scouted from Morocco, 18 years old. He plays as an attacking midfielder right. He has a pace of 12, acceleration of 12, some stats to be filled in there. He's going to be one mainly for the under-21s. We've got Go Hatano, 26-year-old Japanese goalkeeper, brought in basically as backup to Tani. We had to move some of our other goalkeepers out. O'Shaughnessy left and Matsuo, I think I'm going to go with. We had to move some of those out because they were coming to the end of contracts and stuff, and basically we just moved them on. So we've signed quite a few backup goalkeepers just to fill the quota of 4 required in every team. Ryo Ishii is one of those as well, 24 years old. Probably won't play many games, but he's there as a backup player. We then signed Nakin Boasri. Yeah, he's a central midfielder, another Thai international. Good tackling technique. He has good work rate, pace and acceleration. He has some good physicals. And for an 18-year-old, there's plenty of development to come from him. And then finally, Kitisak Pongswan. He is another defensive midfielder with tackling, passing. He has good teamwork, vision, aggression, agility, natural fitness, stamina. So basically a player at the age of 18 who we are going to try and develop. And luckily for us, all the players from Thailand do not count as foreign players. So even though we do have quite a few foreign players in and around the first team, these are not players that are going to count towards that. Luckily for us, some of those players will help rather than hinder us in that sense. For players that have gone out then, so in terms of permanent deals, we'd already lost Thierry Graca, and then we started to offload some players towards the end of the window. So starting off with the permanent ones, we have lost. So Okazaki had already gone. Ovalar left in December. He's a player that I was hoping to develop. He didn't really start to pick up as much as I thought he would. He has gone to River Plate in Paraguay. Joe O'Shaughnessy was one of those goalkeepers we was talking about. We brought him in on a free transfer from one of the English teams early in the game. He developed nicely enough. We just couldn't get him into the team. Seiya Baba, who was a player who we got absolutely slated for signing last season. 23-year-old Japanese defender. I only wanted him really as a rotation option. The board weren't very happy with that. And then Tanoat Sweng Shitawan, he has left the club, an attacking midfielder. He was going to play for Kashiwa Reysol. Again, another one we couldn't get into the team and we were struggling with. We had a bid of 150,000 come in. We signed him on a free, so it's 150 grand that we have made. Show you the finances again. We are sitting pretty. We have a bank balance of £38 million now and a transfer budget of £16 million. We have a wage budget of £209,000. We're only committed to spending £141,000 of that. The biggest problem that we do have at the club is that the club is only allowed to have a select amount of maximum wage exempt players. We are at the limit of that, so we would have to be moving certain players on to be able to sign bigger, high-profile players. So even though we've got 16 million in the budget there is some limitations on what we can spend, but we are looking to bring players in all of the time. Somebody, as I said, had made a comment about us developing the youth facilities and the training facilities. So those two things are both in the pipeworks as well. I suppose the only thing left to do is to ask for the club to be moved to a new stadium. I don't think that is pretty much realistic. In terms of moving from season to season, we've only played one warm-up game, one friendly against John Book, so Champions League opposition from previous seasons, and we won that game 2-1. Goals from Hatanaka and Presart before we gave a goal away on the 81st minute. We did dominate the game. We could have had so many more goals. There was chances galore. We had 22 shots and 12 on target. We could only score twice. So hopefully a little bit of a tune-up for some of the players, and we are going to look to get some of those new signings into the first team and build around some of the experience at the back. So looking at the schedule, Champions League games to kick us off. We have been drawn in Group G. We are going to be facing off against Bangkok, Gangwon and Tianjin Jinmen Tiger. So trips to Korea and Thailand and China, all to come up in this season. I think we should do pretty well out of this. I don't really fear any of the teams. Chinese teams, you're not too sure what they will throw up. I don't know what the state of their game actually is in terms of Football Manager. I mean, if we have a look at them, it ranks them as a 2.5-star potential rich team. If we look at their senior squad, what players have they got? So they've got one French player who is 210,000 to 2.1 million pounds. Jules Iloki is their one player on the books, so don't really fear them in terms of that kind of squad, but then you never know what's going to turn up on the day and what kind of grade out players they get, etc, etc. So I think that builds us nicely up to where we want to be. This is just going to be a bit of a shorter episode, just a bridging one between season 3 and season 4. We are going to be coming back tomorrow with the first episode of season 4, which is going to be against Bangkok United in the Champions League. So if you've enjoyed the bridging episode between season 3 and season 4, let me know what you think of the new signings. How do you think we're going to get on in the new season? That kind of thing. Leave all those comments in the box down below. For this one, I'm going to wrap it there. Come back and see us tomorrow as we start season 4 and the defence of our Champions League title against Bangkok United.